Hey y'all, I'm Lachlan, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing an island tour of my very first island. So in April of 2020, I purchased my first Switch Lite, and of course Animal Crossing New Horizons, and so that whole love for AC kind of grew from there. And so I created the island of Lunaloo, and as the year progressed last year, I would design the island according to the seasons. And so I had that island up through, I believe, January of this year. And so the way I left it and put my dream address out there was a winter themed / holiday themed island. I know we're getting into fall here soon, and listen, I am a Halloween girl at heart, and I'm super excited for all the pumpkins. I haven't even gotten into the new update stuff yet. So I did want to kind of do a type of Christmas in July type of thing and do an island tour at my very first island. So I hope you enjoy island tours like this and keep on watching. Alrighty, so this is Lunaloo, and when you come visit, there will be the hat and the coat that I'm wearing, plus a vaulting pole and a ladder. That was kind of before I would place a lot of those neater items around the island. I can't remember, it's been so long since I visited, but yeah, so make sure you pick up the tools and the outfit, that way you're bundled up for this little holiday winter theme going on. So before I move further into the island, let me show you my map. So here's Lunaloo, there's little Lochleth at the time. We have Deirdre, Raymond, Biscuit, Dobie, Lucky, Penelope, Carmen, Pietro, Pecan or Pecan, and Clay. I would release my dream address depending on the season. So I did one for Halloween, I did one for Christmas, obviously. I think I only did 2 releases now that I think about it. But yeah, I kind of wish I still had the Halloween themed one. But for this area here on my beach is a little campsite that I created, and this one was really neat for Halloween. So I kind of would sprinkle little features or parts in the movie Stephen King's It, like the movie that was released a few years back. And so for this one, this was that scene initially from when the kids all go down to the ravine looking for, or the Barrens, I guess I should say. So that's kind of why I wish I could go back to that dream address. But you know, this island isn't active anymore. It's not even a thing anymore. And in fact, Lunaloo is based off of the nickname that my husband and I gave my dog Luna, or Luna Lovegood is her full name, when she's in trouble only. But here's a little campsite area. And the shops are right here when you come off the airport. So there's Nooks and there's the Able Sisters. Very Halloween. It is blazing hot outside where I'm living right now, hence the tank top that I'm wearing. But yeah, this is making me really wish it was a lot cooler, which is probably why I like fall so much. So here's one of many frozen ponds on my island. And check the card for the code and the creator, but the creator is Liz the Lass here on YouTube. I'll make sure to include a link to her channel down below. If you're not following her, why not? Because she's really funny, a lot funnier than me, and a lot cooler than I am, and she's been doing this for a lot longer than me too, obviously. So she created this, and I'll make sure to include that down below. And then this was something that I first created. It was like my first ever build on this island. This is obviously a winter themed version of it. There were different versions of this cafe throughout the year last year. I'm always going back to, I really wish I still had the Halloween version of this island, because that's pretty much my favorite builds on all the different versions you'll see here. The Halloween version was always my favorite one, but this one's not too bad. I like the snow, actually more so. But here's the cafe that I have. And then moving up here, kind of some toys and things and some DIYs that you could have picked up when you came and visited. There's Deirdre, some trees. So up here is some of my first villager homes, like where they're located. So kind of the last villagers I have are over here. So we have Penelope here, we have Carmen there, and then we have Pietro. So this is kind of their little area. And even though I would change the island according to the season, it was always the core of the designs were always cottagecore. That was my very first type of designing I would do, and it's kind of something that came natural to me in that it was easy for me to fill up space, to use design codes, however, to still make things accessible where you can still interact with certain items and all that jazz. But I would still change things out here and there, like the flowers and some of the holiday or seasonal items based on the season. So here is one of those areas. This is one thing that I knew I wanted to do once it came close to winter time, was like a sledding competition. So there's a couple sleds here, there's a little life preserver, you know, and some more sleds here. So this is like a giant hill that you can come down and possibly win a sledding, you know, competition. So next to the cafe, I did want to keep all of these, and I wish you could take these with you, but I wish when you caught a turtle and you wanted to like gift it to a friend or something, you could drop it off and then they could use it, you know, because these turtles are so cute. And even the horseshoe crabs, and I like that they like flip over. And so I took the time to find all these turtles, to find all these horseshoe crabs, and in fact I had a lot more than this. And I had a turtle island on this island, so kind of closer to my house. As soon as I found that you could place these guys and they were just like pets of sorts, I was like, oh well, they need a turtle island. And so once I demolished that area, eventually I just moved them to here. And then when the horseshoe crabs came out, when you were able to deep sea dive, I had to do the same thing. So those kind of moved there. And yeah, I wish I could have kept them even though I reset this island. And then moving up this way, over this bridge, another little frozen pond area, little ice skating spot. And here are Santa's helpers. So I made like a little tiny Santa workshop area for them to build toys and just live their best life, pretty much. And then down here on the beach, a little place to stay warm and hang out. And then back here is kind of my space area, and then there's a space heater as well. I didn't know what else to do with these, and I actually was able to move these to my other island. They're in storage. I never used them for decoration, but I am glad that I hung on to them because they're just cool. I like the space items. I need to utilize those more. So let's move back, and I'll kind of go through different winding areas so you can kind of see all the different places you can go. Here's resident services again. Hello, Luna. And moving up, here is a place that kind of changed over time, but not too much. I wanted to utilize the wedding furniture from the wedding event, the one from last year. And so I mixed it with fossils and with art. And so this is kind of an art exhibit slash fossil exhibit park, pretty much. Almost like a dining area too. And then there used to be more art here, but when it came close to Christmas time, I obviously changed all that to kind of fit the theme of the holidays. But it still kind of all fits well. But there's another wedding table back here too, and a harp. And then this little gong and tea spot here. This was a consistent build on the island. It actually never really changed. I think the pillows was the thing that I would change the pattern of, depending on the season. So now we're here at the big bridge. And when I first built this bridge, I never wanted to remove it, essentially. Initially, it was all water down below, and so this was just a giant bridge over water situation. And then when it got closer to the holidays, I wanted to do the whole Christmas lights, Christmas tree, walkway area that people would do. And I would see some on Instagram did create something like this. So this is not my original idea. Cross it, and you get to my little lighthouse on a terraformed spot. A little picnic area with a little teddy bear pal. So we've got what's called the Arboretum in the town that I live. And basically it's just a little park. It's a very, it's like a narrow walking way, and it kind of all goes in a circle, and people usually walk their dogs there, and it's really pretty, and it's a lot of the flowers and trees are native to the state that I'm in. So it's a nice little area, and so I wanted to have a little arboretum area on this island. And so I did the same thing on my Cottagecore island too. It's a good way to take up space without really putting too much thought into it. Plus I really enjoy the trees. So here is my little arboretum of sorts. And this was another one of those areas that when it was in Halloween time, I kind of had Pennywise outfit over here, a red balloon, and then this is kind of reminiscent of that well from the movie. And then you cross over here, and this was where I would jump off into the ocean when diving first was released. Alright, so Red's Beach is down here. Just a few items, some pirate themed items. There's a little pirates themed song playing down there. And then back up here, some more seating areas. And then my version of a library. It's a very small library, not much to it. I know the books are probably getting wet outside with the snow, but just use your imagination. But there's that. And then I've got a little apiary area up here. And then you can cross over here, and it's really the only way to get over here, but this is kind of where I started that need to have every single colored item, flower on the island. Now, these were mostly created by me. Not all of them. Obviously, you can see there are some bare spots here. I never got to complete that, but as you probably saw on my tour of Analia, even though I didn't create all those flowers, I did have a complete rainbow flower field on that island on one of my beaches. So I did complete it somewhere in some sort of fashion, but I did start that want to do that from this very first island. So let's go this way, and it's probably hard to tell, but you can come behind that. And here is my larger ice skating rink, and there are some like snow boots or like ice skates sitting right there with some stockings, and then like a little horse pulling a carriage. And then this is my Christmas tree farm, and then back here is kind of where you see the little guy working, like he works at this store. Like you come here and buy the tree from him, where he's also selling wood and maybe some cedar saplings. Yeah, so you can get all that from him. A little well, and then a nice little eating spot. And then coming down here is some giant teddy bears. Literally, this one is a DIY that you can get to create a giant teddy bear. And then a little picnic spot. And then here is my campsite. So here's the actual campsite, but there's some additional tent right here and some seating spot, and you can roast some marshmallows on the fire. Let's go further down, and I'll show you my house later. So if you go this way, you will find the gong and little tea area that we just were at earlier. And then down here is my little playground that I have on the island. Obviously the scariest thing in here for the children is Zipper, but I won't go there. But here's the little playground area. And then if you want to pick some berries, there's a bucket and some berries here, so you can go berry picking. And then here is my museum. So this was probably I think this was the very first picture and build that I did, or at least shared on my AC Instagram page. That version I think was more fall themed, if I can remember correctly. So I did change some of this stuff out a bit. Obviously the codes on the ground are a little different because these are for winter, but this is pretty much the same that I put out there. But yeah, so there's the museum. So here's the pottery area. And actually I created this before I had clay on my island. And it just so happened that the villager that wanted to move out that I was okay with replacing lived at the house that was right here. And so when he moved in, it just fit together that he literally lives next door to the pottery area that I had already built. It's like the universe knew that I needed him on the island. So there's the pottery area that Clay kind of teaches you how to create pottery. Another little library area. And I believe this is, yeah, that's Deirdre's house. So we've got Dobie here. And I didn't know when I put up the dream address that the snowman you created would not show up in the dream. So just imagine there's a snowman here. Because, yeah, I'm a dunce and did not know that was not a thing. So here's Pecan's house, and there's my mailbox because here is the mail area. So here's where you can wrap up your stuff and ship it off. And then down here is a nice little crafting / game area. And it's where Lucky lives. And he shares this little seating area space with Raymond. So even though he's like a little office buff, he likes to take care of plants, and I was kind of surprised by that. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that I liked him so much, because he'd have his little book out and he'd either be looking at flowers in comparison to the book, or he'd be looking at fish in comparison to the book, or he'd be watering flowers. Like, he was just too cute to me. And even if I never have him again, I've had him once before and I enjoyed his company. And if I ever want to visit him, I can come to the dream address and visit him. And then there's Biscuit's house. He really liked this Halloween plate. And every time I would gift him something else to replace this for the winter holiday, he would put it up for a day and then put this one back up. But like, I can't be mad at him. I really like Halloween too, so I guess I understand. Little place you can hang. And then here's the fish store. So here's kind of where I would catch, even Dobby, I would catch him here looking at all the fish that are over here. Ignore the knife. Not gonna talk about that. And then here's where you would catch the fish on the dock. So past Deirdre's house, up this way, here's a little cute little, date night spot. Here's a little spot to sit. And then over here, a little fireplace area, a little place you might want to wash your hands and prep food. And then back here, used to be like a tiki bar, but now it's just like maybe a hot apple cider bar, or coffee bar type of area. But yeah, nice little place to sit. So let's go to my house. And honestly, that should be the last area, I think. I feel like this is a very quick rundown, but there's not a lot to see on this island as much as I remember. So here is my area, so where my house was. This was when I was like, I want to live super far from everything and have all this space to do blah blah blah. And yeah, so that's what this is. Obviously on my tour of Analia, I kind of started doing that same theme, and then I wanted to be neighbors with B, and so I gave up some of my space. Actually, that's a lot better of me than being a hog and stealing up all of the lovely real estate up here. So here is my version of like a little spot where you can work on things outside, a little workshop area. Here is my greenhouse, and yeah, I really like this greenhouse. I should make another greenhouse again. I'll have to keep that in mind and remember that. But let's go inside, and I think that should be it. So here we are in the first room, and I'm panning slowly so you can kind of take it in, but really I'm panning slowly because I want to look at the snow wall. That was one of my favorite wallpapers in this room, just ever actually. I wish I could keep it up all year round, but yeah, this is the very first room, and it's very cozy in here. I forget how cozy it is. Let me run around a little bit. But yeah, a little kitchenette area. A lot of things on the walls. I really got full into the Cottagecore aspect of things on a cottagecore island. But let's go to the back room first. So this was one of those things that I would see a lot on Instagram, which was kind of those perspective builds inside, like interior builds. And so I did that kind of version where I used rock climbing walls and put them backwards, where it kind of looked like walls. And then when you look back there at the little snowfall / ski slope wallpaper, it looks like it's a window outside. And so there's a clawfoot tub, and it's like that's my little bathroom area looking out to the snowy side, and this is the little bedroom here. And the antique furniture is just, it's so pretty. So, next room. Alright, the spooky, creepy bathroom. So this was a lot creepier when it was Halloween, but I did like the dark tones of the room, so I kept a lot of it. I just kind of changed up the floor and maybe some of the socks that were on the ground. This is the laundry / bathroom area. Not a lot to it, but yeah, I do like all the illuminated lights from like the candle and things. Okay, and then this was my office space. A lot of things on the wall. It's very hard for me not to put a lot of things on the walls. I don't really put a lot of things on walls in my actual home actually, but in this game it was super easy for me to just do that. So yeah, I just kind of went full in and did it that way. So here's my little messy office. Not a lot going on, but it's cute. It's very cozy. I did want to keep that cozy theme throughout all the rooms in the house. So I believe this is a haunted painting, and it's not a real one either. I didn't know that. I just got it from Red. It was literally just, oh, he was selling art, and I knew she had like the little star earring, so I was like, oh, well, it's a fake, but I don't really care. I'll just hang it up inside my house. And then I realized one day that after 6 o'clock, her eyes shut. So I have a haunted painting of that art piece, and I think it's probably one of my favorite ones, and I think I still have it. Hopefully I do. If not, why did I get rid of it? But here is the basement area. I have, big flex with all the villager pics on the walls, but ignore that. It's a little creepy, but it's still cozy down here, I think. I like it. I like the fire burning. The music is kind of nice. There's an organ playing. It's like someone's always playing down here. Yes, there's spider webs on the wall, but I mean, who doesn't have a spider web somewhere in their house? Next room. Alright, last room. The Christmas room. The full-on Christmas room, literally. So I wanted to create this top room to kind of be the little eating area slash seating area, basically just an entertaining area with the Christmas theme. Kind of like, you know, the kids wake up on Christmas Day, they come, quickly run to the Christmas room, are excited about opening their presents, they open all their gifts, you know, they're just super stoked about it. And yeah, so that's kind of what I ended up doing, and I wanted to recreate a home like that just to kind of, you know, continue with the coziness and stay with that theme. And then I believe this is just the pirate wall actually that I'm using. So I hope you enjoyed my island tour of my island of Lunaloo, which is set in the wintertime. This is my very first island I ever created, and you know, even though it changed throughout the year last year, I really liked this island, and there are pieces of it that I really miss. But you know, you live, you grow, you want to reset your island. That's kind of what ended up happening with this one. So I'm glad that I have this. You know, you can always visit your dream address if you do put one out before you reset. You know, pro tip here. Make sure you at least put a dream address out there, whether you share it or not, before you reset your island. That way you can go back and look at it and kind of get that nostalgia from your very first one. So thank you for watching my island tour, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed my weekly uploads as well. I am probably going to start doing some other outside of Animal Crossing related stuff. I have some in the works going on right now. I'm obviously going to continue my Let's Play series of my new island, but thank you for those that continue to watch, and make sure you like and subscribe. I know I never have said that before, but I'm saying it now. You know, I'm trying to be a pro YouTuber here. But thank you for watching, and I am glad that you're still here with me.